You know, we are living in a time where information is traveling at the speed of a click. Public mistakes are being amplified and preserved indefinitely. I just saw an individual on Twitter, and man, they made some type of statement 20 years ago, and people are trying to cancel them in 2026. You understand what I'm saying? They trying to make sure they don't even have a future. You feel what I'm saying? Careers, reputations, personal relationships, they crumble in a matter of minutes. You feel what I'm saying? All because of social media. So it's getting on my nerves, and it's raising a very important question in my mind. Should people have the chance to redeem themselves after they make a public mistake in this modern day time?
We did it. The moment we came together and started grinding, we intertwined, put a mind together, defeat the odds. Now it's only right we shine together.
Modern day time. Now, I think they should. You feel what I'm saying? But I'm telling you, man, it has to have meaningful conditions that are attached to it. You can't just do whatever you say. I mean, you can't just do whatever you want and just say whatever you want without any type of accountability and thinking there ain't no consequences and repercussions. And I'm saying that because I just recently seen something that DJ Vlad said, and I'm just like, dude, you are completely out of touch with the reality of the foundational Black Americans in this society. Do some research on the FBA. Look, I'm not saying on FBA or you should be FBA, but what I keep noticing is that individuals have leached off of the culture that you created, and then they are speaking down to you. Now, you know, all humans are humans. So humans, they are inherently fallible. That means they're gonna make mistakes. You feel what I'm saying? So that could be personal mistakes, you know, like misjudgments. They could just, you know, be in the professional world and make a misstep. That's just part of just being a human and living a human experience. You feel what I'm saying? But growth comes from failure and then learning and then teaching those lessons to other individuals. But I'm noticing that people are getting in positions of power and they are denying individuals any type of opportunity to redeem themselves. And once they get in a certain type of status, now they want to speak down on other individuals and then act like they so perfect. Everybody should have a chance to redeem themselves in certain situations. You feel what I'm saying? But I'm telling you, it's like one mistake, boom, you are doomed forever. But it seems as if it's specifically targeted toward people who look like this. This is just what I'm noticing. You feel what I'm saying? I do understand that redemption sometimes it can be hollow, but reality is, if you're trying to redeem yourself, it can't be hollow. DJ Vlad apologized to Minister Farrakhan, right? After saying something incorrect 5 years ago, 6 years ago, or something like that, and then stood on all of the wrong. You feel what I'm saying? Didn't have no remorse, didn't care who he talked, cut friends, people who really had his back. He destroyed all of that because his values and his moral system is not how it's supposed to be when you're a stand-up person. But these type of individuals, they use the culture, and guess what? Since he's offering a little money to these guys who are starving artists, guess what? They're going to be on the platform because he got a lot of subscribers, and they're going to take the money. You feel what I'm saying? Redemption cannot be hollow. You feel what I'm saying? If you are really doing your people a disservice, then you're going to have genuine acknowledgement of harm that you've done. And you got to have a willingness to really make up or make amends. You feel what I'm saying? You got to demonstrate that over time. It ain't just some, oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I misspoke. And then everything is all good. Only one group of people consistently forgive everybody that keep disposing of them, keep disrespecting them. Only one group of people, and that's the people that look like this. You always inviting everybody to the cookout. All they got to do is say some slang, and you like, oh, they invited to the cookout. All they got to do is do some dances. All they got to do is agree with you just a little bit, and you just acting like everything is all good. Look, change is demonstrated over time. People are not what they say, they are what they do. So if a person just give a public apology, but it don't have no meaningful action, then that does little to rebuild trust. And you got to understand that. You feel what I'm saying? You got to know that. And especially with these tough guys who talking all crazy and talking all tough on social media, when you know they ain't built like that. You know they ain't busting nothing. You know they ain't doing nothing. They ain't even moving like that. They ain't even moving aggressive. They ain't never had to sit down on no time. They ain't never had to stand over a man and do whatever they had to do. You understand what I'm saying? You can tell it, but they say anything. And then they say, oh, man, my bad. But like I said, you can't just have a I'm sorry, but not have meaningful action behind it. The meaningful action, because like I said, people not what they say, they're what they do. So they got to have meaningful action. Because if they don't, then how can you rebuild trust? You feel what I'm saying? Look, society has to distinguish the real ones from the fake ones. You feel what I'm saying? And a lot of these fake ones now, they doing all of this performative theater and all these theatrics. They not even authentic. But you keep inviting them to your culture and they keep using and exploiting your culture. And guess what? They getting more money from your culture than you getting from your culture. And then they are in boardrooms and they telling you what people like you like. You understand what I'm saying? When I tell you they don't like you, man, they don't respect you. So you're going to have to stop inviting everybody to the cookout. Stop inviting everybody to the culture. And I'm telling you, it's really getting on my nerves right now. You feel what I'm saying? So I had to get on and talk about it. But like I said, you know, some people can be forgiving. You know what I'm saying? You give some people a chance at redemption. You feel what I'm saying? But not everybody deserves your handshake. Some people need a permanent exile from your culture. You need to say, look, nah, I ain't respecting you. I don't support you. And you got to stand on that. You got to confront these individuals because they not individuals who seeking growth. They just trying to just use your culture and they trying to get you out of your culture. One day, I'm telling you, one day, they're going to tell you that you ain't even create hip hop. They're going to have everybody that look like them dancing. They're going to have everybody that look like them rapping and everything. And you not even going to have no say in the culture because you ain't got no say in the culture now. These people, even in the public space, these people are doing all kind of things immoral to your people. The law enforcement, they escalate and they doing all the things, you know what I'm saying, to your people and hurting your people and you not doing nothing. Look, if they do something to your people and it's public and you do nothing but hold your hands up and you want to keep walking around protesting, the only reason why they so brave to do all of these things to you is because you don't do nothing. You don't stand together as a community and say, look, from this day on, if you do 1, 2, and 3, then you're going to have to send a military unit in here because we are going to war. Do you understand? You can't just let people do anything to you because I'm telling you, if you let somebody push you down and you don't take up for yourself, they'll push you again. And then if you don't say nothing after they push you again, then they'll strike you. And then if you don't say nothing after they strike you, they'll do something worse. It'll keep escalating until nobody is going to listen to nothing you got to say because they're going to be so brave that they feel like they can do anything because you ain't going to do nothing. Do you understand what I'm saying? So look, I understand that you so ready to forgive and people got all of these flaws that you just want to invite them over because they do things that you like. But you have to have more unforgiveness in your heart. Only you get taught that you got to wait for heaven after you are no longer on this planet. Everybody else is getting their piece of heaven while they're here. But you get told through a religion that you got to wait to not be on the planet and go to some place to experience heaven. Create heaven on this earth. Create your own communities on this earth that you own. Do things amongst yourself. Look out for your own people. If I can't tell you anything, do not let these people say anything, do anything, and erase your history, especially as it applies to this hip hop culture, without some type of consequences. Don't let them do anything to you in the streets without some type of consequences and repercussions. Come on, man. I'm all about forgiveness. I'm all about allowing for a space of transformation, right? Because, you know, I do believe that people deserve the opportunity to rebuild their life. You know what I'm saying? But look, you got to hold people accountable. And these people are creating a sustained effort to make sure that you are out of the race. Why they do everything that you created and act like you ain't create nothing. I'm gone.
We did it. The moment we came together.